Morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, our distinguished guests here present, citizen champions, change champions from across the whole country, fellow citizens. I come to you this particular morning to share with you our perspective, our plan, our agenda, our program of action for the year. As you are aware, last year, around this time, we shared with the world, we shared with Zimbabweans, we shared with you fellow citizens, our agenda for 2022. That agenda was mainly predicated and premised upon a citizen action for change. But this one has a new theme. We have dubbed this year a year of citizens' victory, a year of freedom, and a restoration year for the people of Zimbabwe. This is a victory year. It is an election year in 2023. The vote is a special one because it is a liberation vote, a freedom vote, and indeed a restoration vote. This year is a year of national rebirth. Zimbabwe is going to be born again. Zimbabwe was born in 1980, but the national rebirth and national renewal or national restoration is going to be realized this year. We are going to see the birth of a new great Zimbabwe. This is our winning moment, our winning year, our victory and celebration year. And I must say to all the citizens, get ready for the celebrations. Get ready for the happiness. One would say, but how do we get ready when the odds are stacked against us? I've said this. I'm not unmindful of the challenges, the vicissitudes, the ups and downs that are littered and dominating our landscape. I know that we have challenges. I know that we have odds. But I can tell you this, and I continue to say it. When I say God is in it, I'm not saying it as a slogan. It's a statement of knowledge, of faith, of conviction, and of course, of the truth that I know about what is obtaining. Yes, the facts may seem to be against us, but I can tell you that we are on the course to victory. And we are on the course to be celebrating as a people of Zimbabwe. And of course, the year will prove. You are aware that I will touch on the trajectory of the year, the signposts of the year, the expectations of the year. But before I do that, may I just delve into sharing with you the state of the citizens' movement. You are aware that we have brought in a new breed of politics, the citizen politics. As you are aware, the liberation struggle was predicated around a citizen project. It was indeed a citizen project. And so is the transformational and democratization project that we are currently embarking on. We are its leaders, but it is indeed a citizen project. The struggles of the working people of Zimbabwe, the students, the farmers, women, young people, pensioners, war veterans, continues to be the compass of our determination, our courage, our boldness, and the direction that we continue to give. Citizens of Zimbabwe, both at home and in the diaspora, have embraced and understood the importance of our new ideology and philosophy, citizens at the center and citizens first. I would call it citizenocracy, which is the governance and government of citizens, where citizens define the course, the priorities, the policies. Is called citizenocracy. We want to see citizens taking center stage. We want to see citizens determining the direction and course of action of those in government and those in leadership. As you are aware, we have changed the landscape of politics in this country. We've had an excellent start. We've performed exceptionally well in the recent by-elections. It's not a joke that we got 19 out of the contested 28 or so by-elections. We got 89 out of the contested 149 or so ward elections. That's not by accident or by mistake. It's a product of not just our actions, our strategies, our plans, but also the faith we have. And that's why I always focus that God is in it. It's not possible that without any resource, you are able to defeat those who are so resourced and those who have made you a budget item. We have been made a budget item by government. I'm sure in terms of allocations to ministries, the money that is allocated to dealing with us is much more than any other ministry, because this is unbudgeted allocations. But we've continued to stand. And the fact that we are standing here is a testimony that victory is certain and that victory is coming. This year we are celebrating 1 year since we did form and announce the citizens movement. We have scored very big. The citizen movement is spreading across the whole country. Our tentacles are in every village, and every community, every farm, and every street. We are the talk of town, the talk of the village, the talk of the nation. We have organic citizen structures. In fact, we have come up with a new philosophy that has not been understood by old-styled and old-fashioned politicians and old-fashioned experts who think that we are structureless. No, ours is a structureless structure. Ours is an organic presence in all the structures, and we are led ably with a footprint that is evidently present in every city, every town, and every village. We are actually working tirelessly to strengthen the machinery for the upcoming elections as we embark on internal processes to also make sure that our functionality is beyond reproach and impeachment. We are embarking on a process to choose candidates, and I'll advert to that in terms of the main agenda items. And we are also saying to citizens, wherever you are, play a role. This is your project. This is a citizen project. We want you to play a part. Take your role. Take your position. Do not be left behind. This is our defining moment, as I have already indicated. Don't allow yourselves to be intimidated or harassed. I've received numerous complaints from the countryside where people are being frog-marched into supporting Zanu PF, forced to buy Zanu PF, to join cell structures by Zanu PF. I've received reports across the whole country where people are being told that if you don't support Zanu PF, you lose your farm, you lose your property, you lose your mining claim. That's all acts of banditry, criminal conduct by Zanu PF. But of course, we know Zanu PF has never won an election. In fact, they don't prepare to win elections. They prepare to rig them. But the thing is that this year, we are also preparing to stop them. And that's why I said this is a year to celebrate our victory. We will not accept the mistakes of 2018 or prior to that. We will not accept this thing of just accepting us to be cheated, deceived, and people think that is normal. It can't be normal when you cheat people. It can't be normal when you are a criminal. It can't be normal when you try to subvert the will of the people. And of course, people say, but where is your plan? Who would go to Russia or Ukraine that are in a war to say, please, Russia, give us your plan against Ukraine, or Ukraine, give us... It's a war situation. At times, in a war situation, you don't necessarily need to herald or address in a press conference what your next strategic move is. We have strategies, we have plans, and we will defeat all these oppressors. Let me say that over the past 12 months, we have had the Mugwazo program, which is a program of action. It has successfully reached all the corners of our country. We have now located ourselves permanently in footprint in every community, in every hamlet, every village, even every homestead, and of course, in all the streets across the country. The citizen movement is a new way of doing politics. New, fresh, radical, disruptive, and of course, discomforting to the opponent. They were used to targeting certain individuals, buy them, allege splits. So we have said, fine, you can buy your own people, but they know nothing. We have a new strategy. Now we are moving in a difficult way. We walk backwards. We walk backwards. And they don't know what we are doing. IsiNdebele sithi hayi thina siyahamba nyovane. Siyahamba nyovane, we are so sophisticated. You don't expect us to do what you expect us to do. And that's why our opponents are jittery and in sixes and sevens. And a lot of people think that Zanu PF's conduct is an act of invincibility and indomitability. No. They are showing that they are on the back foot. And Zanu PF is panicking. That is why they are doing all sorts of things. Look at their shenanigans through ZEC. Look at their shenanigans in the communities, banning our rallies. To date, they've banned over 68 of our rallies. Why? Because they know that we are the only game in town. We are the citizen movement, the transformation movement, the happiness movement, a freedom movement. We are the people who are leading the charge to locate back the citizens at the center, so that citizens are happy again, so that we are free again, so that we are dignified again, so that we are able to prosper again as a people, so that we are proud and great again. And this journey is going to be completed. We want our police to be back to the citizens, our courts to be back to the citizens, our law and our politics to be back to the citizens, policies to be defined by the citizens, Parliament to be centered around the citizens, politicians to report, be accountable, and be responsible to the citizens. Leaders must account and be responsible. Zimbabwe needs new leaders, and we are the leaders. We are the new direction. We are the new ideas. Let me say that the vision for us is very clear. Our vision is to realize a new and great Zimbabwe in our lifetime. A new republic, a citizen republic, where people are united around one vision, as a nation, as a people, united in focus, built on what I call the hexagon of nation building. What is this hexagon of nation building? 7 key priorities we are going to immediately put in place to build back a nation, so that we move from just being a country or a geographical constellation to being a people that are united in vision, in direction, and in focus. We need to restore freedom and happiness. We need to restore peace. We need to restore prosperity, unity, love, reconciliation, forgiveness, and unity. For us to be able to do this, we need to embark on a mission of transformation. That's why we say in Kukuko, Zimbabwe. Shanduko, Zimbabwe. This is the word. This is the gospel. This is the chorus across the whole country, in all the 4 corners, in all the languages, the tribes, and the regions of our country. They all understand that we need to arise. Sumuka Zimbabwe, Sumuka. Pakama Zimbabwe, Pakama. We need to build. Yaka Zimbabwe, Yaka. Waka, to transform and to change. But for us to be able to change, we must be able to register people to vote and vote, because we believe in electoral politics. That's why we have not taken up guns to go to neighboring countries to wage a war against this dictatorship. Because ours is a democratic struggle. Ours is a peaceful and non-violent struggle, even against all odds and against difficulties we encounter. We aim, as a central idea, to put citizens first and at the center. We have said our target this year is to make sure that we win big. That's our strategy. We have to win big. Some are saying, but if we vote, it doesn't make a difference. It does make a difference. When we have you participating, we are going to have a wide margin. A wide margin cannot be deceived or cheated or tricked. When we vote in our large numbers, we'll be able then to dominate and make that difference. Yes, we need 6 million votes from you, the citizens. We need a 2/3 majority. If we have not done so well, we must at least have a majority in Parliament and be able to choose a speaker. All our urban councils, we have to sweep, as we have always done before. In the rural district councils, we are aiming to have a majority, not to sweep, because we know that it might actually not be an attainable objective. Allow me to say, as I outline the major pillars of our Agenda 2023, which I'm about to do, I have to touch on the circumstances that are obtaining in terms of our economy. But I'm not going to do a lot of narration of the challenges that we have encountered, because you all know them. You are evidence and testimony to the challenges that we have. I'll just briefly touch on the economic outlook to indicate that, as you know, our present economic dashboard in Zimbabwe provides a very sad story. Our economic situation is characterized by runaway inflation caused by a runaway national budget. Look at how we have moved from 8.1 billion in 2019 to 4.5 trillion in 2023. That is a record increase of a budget. Almost, you would say, 55,456% in 5 years. That's encyclopedic. That has never been heard or seen. But that is what this current government is capable of doing. Scoring high in all negatives. The highest inflation rate in the country, that is what they are known for. The highest corruption in the country, in the world, that is what they are known for. Contrary to what Mr. Mtuli always says, Zvakarongeka, the Zvakarongeka mantra has been thrown off guard and off balance. You have seen the massive debt trap that we have in this country. We've risen from, in just 2018, 10 billion to where we are right now, almost 18.73 billion. Poverty has even increased. If you look at 2018, we're standing at about 29%. Now it's 49% of the population that are in extreme poverty. 7.5 million people, to be specific, up from 4.4 million people in December 2018. Now, these are just statistics to indicate how we have gone low, how we have gone south. With respect to social indicators and social ills, the massive wage compression, the workers are now in a bracket of poverty. Look at the teachers. In 2018, they were getting about 540. Right now, they get almost 200 US dollars. And of course, some RTGS. But you can see that the education sector is in the graveyard. You can see that we have death traps even in the hospitals. Hospitals have no adequate staff, no medicine. The sector has been hit by massive brain drain. We are losing our teachers, we are losing our nurses. In fact, Zimbabwe has become a factory of the best brains, but we have also become a shell of those brains because we are having a net loss of the brains. Look at the drug problem. Our young citizens are severely affected by the problem of drugs. Drugs are only but a symptom of a governance problem, a deeper problem. And we must address this serious systemic problem of poverty and a broken nation, a dysfunctional society. And that is what we are seeing. But there are also problems that are exacerbated by the head, by the leadership. A fish rots from the head. We know that the drug cartels are being supported, camouflaged, and even covered, fueled, and supported by those who are in leadership. And they must be exposed. Corruption has become endemic, as you know. 1.8 billion is lost annually through illicit financial flows. 1.2 billion is lost through corruption in ministries and enterprises within government. Smuggling has become a national religion and a national practice. If you look at it, we just combine what we are losing through illicit financial flows and corruption. It's almost 2.8 billion. It's enough to service our debt. It's enough to make sure that we are able to get out of these current cycles. We are able to then deal with the fundamental social ills that we continue to face. In terms of the nation, you are aware of the human rights situation in the country. Our situation is worsened. Look at the arrest of our brother Job Sikala. He's almost a year in prison without bail. That tells you that the nation is rotten. He committed no offense. Sikala is innocent, but they have already adjudged him guilty without any trial. It tells you how sick we are. And I may want to tell the nation that I've even made the effort to write severally to Mr. Mnangagwa to say, deal with this Sikala issue. It's embarrassing us internationally and nationally. He has chosen not to respond. But I've written to him. I wrote to him private conversations to indicate to him what the issues are, but he has ignored them. I've done my bit, and I continue to do more, particularly in the context of reaching out and making sure that we place the issues on the table. You are also aware that in terms of infrastructure, the roads in the countryside are impassable. I don't know how people are going to even campaign, because you can't even travel on these roads. Most of the roads are totally dilapidated and finished, impossible and impassable. We also see the increase in the harassment of those in opposition. Our meetings being banned, our rallies being cancelled, freedom of press and freedom of association being muzzled. We've also seen across the whole country the partisan and illegal criminal conduct of trying to populate our national institutions with Zanu PF propaganda. I get reports every day from those who are serving in our uniformed forces that they are getting what is called the civic education program, which program is trying to teach those institutions party issues. Zimbabwe is bigger than any political party. Our soldiers, our police, our intelligence services are not supposed to be subjected to partisan propaganda. They are not supposed to serve a political party. They are national institutions, and we want to maintain their integrity as such. Let me therefore say, having said that, and I've just touched this in passing in a synopsis, we will give you a detailed statement. The road to victory this year is signposted on 5 critical pillars. Number one pillar is predicating upon what we call running a citizens' campaign. A lot of you would expect us to run a campaign by a political party. We are not a political party, we are a citizens' movement. Every citizen is going to play a role. Whether you are in Zanu PF or in CCC, you have to play a role in the citizen movement to make sure that we reclaim our country. What I like about the hunger we are facing is that it doesn't affect a political party. No stomach carries a card. We are all affected equally. School fees does not require a political card. Hospitals do not ask for a political card. We all face the same problems, and therefore it must be a citizen campaign. It's now a situation of the citizens against their oppressors, a citizens against their hardships, against their poverty, against their people who are depriving them of happiness. It has to be a citizen-driven campaign, a citizen-centered campaign, giving oxygen to our philosophy, citizens first, and citizens at the center. By the citizens, from the citizens, for the citizens, and of course, of the citizens. This year we are going to see citizen power more active. A lot of you have been asking, oh yes, when are we going to do this and that? Wait, be active, be involved. We are going to give the signal to you as the citizens when the moment arises to make sure that you lead the change, you lead the charge, and you become part of the change that we want to see. Do the change and be the change. That is our call. That is our charge to you. It's your campaign. It's a citizens' campaign. We are going to build it around a citizen project where you are the architects, where you are the caretakers, where you are the agents, where you are the protagonists and the chief executives of this program. We don't accept you as citizens to be spectators or to be bystanders. Be the drivers. This is a call to action. We want you to perform your role, register to vote, participate in programs, participate in actions, contribute something. We need your support. Let's build the networks. Let's build advocates. Let's grow together. Let's develop our communities. Let's make sure that we build the citizen structures, which is the strongest structure and the structure that is going to deliver victory and change. Yes, there are times when we don't say certain things. We've called it strategic ambiguity. But those who are part of us and those who should know what we are doing. That's why the call for structures is not coming from the citizens. It's coming from other quislings who are not part of the process. But they want to be malcontents because they want to try and locate fault lines that are not there. The citizen movement is indivisible. Those who were used to splitting the opposition, tough luck. This time you are not going to be able to split us because the citizen movement can't be split. We want to continue to thank you, those who have been supporting us, and to say, as we talk around the pillars that we are going to build around, we are going to develop what is called the volunteers movement. Every one of you must be able to come and show the kind of prosperity that we want to see. On the citizen program and on the citizen agenda, we want a volunteers program. Be a volunteer, be a supporter, be a backer, be a leader. We want to make sure that on the agenda number 1, we are coming to you to say, let us reason together. There is a vote that is coming. What do we need to see from you? We want to launch a campaign called 1+5. Every citizen, get 5 of your own, your relatives, in your community. Those who are in the diaspora, 1+5. Get your own 5 to be on the voters' roll, to come and support change. This is the new battalion of change, 1+5. Let us go to the 5 that you are going to bring to say, this is what I contributed to the citizen project. This is what I contributed to change, 1+5. We say 1+5. We want the 5 that you are bringing. We want the 5 that you are going to bring. Let us reason together. Let's have your 5 as a champion. Champion change in your community. Champion change in the nation. Wherever you are, where is your 5? Don't wait for Mr. Chamisa. Don't wait for citizen leaders. Don't wait for MPs. Wait for yourself. You have to bring us your 5. Where are the 5? 1+5. The volunteers program, a citizen campaign. The second pillar in terms of our agenda for this year is an agenda around choosing your citizen representatives. For a long time, MPs have been foisted upon you. We have a new culture and a new tradition. We want citizens to choose their citizen representatives as MPs, as councillors, at various levels, even as president. We want a citizen president. We want citizen MPs. We want citizen councillors. For this to happen, we are going to change, and we've already started the process of radically transforming how we choose our candidates. Candidates are going to be chosen by you, not by leaders. By you, not by the leader. You in your community, tell us who is the best representative in terms of integrity, honor, accountability, accessibility, and also visibility. Don't choose people who are MPs as in missing person. Choose people who are always with you. MP is not missing person, is member of parliament. They have to represent you in parliament. You have to choose these MPs who are visiting you, who work with you. Those who have not been coming to, even if they want to pretend to be CCC. We don't harbor any person who does not come from the people. Councillors must be people who are not corruptible. We have seen some who are corruptible. Those who are going to flush out and help us to flush out those who are corrupt. You see them. Wherever you see somebody who was walking on foot and now they are driving a car, they are a suspect. Deal with them. We want people who are able to have accountability as a yardstick. Citizen representatives. That's my charge to you as citizens. Choose your MPs, community consensus candidates that are going to come from you. We've already developed a template, which template is a democratic, citizenocratic template that speaks to citizens at the center so that you choose your leaders. Number 3 pillar, which is important, is defending the vote, securing our victory. Yes, we need polling agents. And we're already mobilizing, we've already finished mobilizing all the 11,000 plus polling stations that are supposed to be covered. So in the whole country, we need about 44,000 plus polling agents that are going to be in the various areas to make sure that we watch, we protect, we see. Citizens must all be their own protectors. Be an agent wherever you are. Let's all contribute. We don't want to repeat what happened in Nigeria, where people are shocked by their own vote. A vote must not shock those who have voted. A vote must shock those who have been voted out, as we are going to shock our colleagues in Zanu PF. We have to protect and secure the vote. But of course I know that because of our faith, because of our action, we've done enough. I told you that Zanu PF do not campaign, they command. They do not believe in campaigning, they believe in coercing. But we are different from them. We are preparing to win, they are preparing to rig. And that's why we have to counter their rigging. And once bitten, twice shy. I can assure you that we will not announce what we are going to do to baboons that have become troublesome. But I want to tell you that these baboons are not going to be troublesome anymore. This far and no further. Young people, you have a chance. Young people, you have a chance. Young people, you are the change. We need to mobilize to make sure that we defend our vote. We defend our society. But of course we know that when God is in it, nothing can defeat us. And when I say God is in it, some people think that is a statement of being laid back. Faith is action. And faith is a form of action. But there's also action that comes within that faith. I will share on the inauguration day the journey that I've walked. Because it's going to happen. Those who are in doubt, fair and fine. They are always Thomases. That's the norm of society. But know that change is coming. Change will happen in Zimbabwe. Victory is happening. We are celebrating, and some of us are already preparing for celebration and inauguration. Because we know that change is going to come. And we want you to be part of this celebration by mobilizing for change. Because change is going to come. God has remembered Zimbabwe. God is visiting Zimbabwe. And we shall be saved. We shall have change in this country. So the security of our victory is very important. Polling agents are critical. Observers are also very important. We have written to all the observer missions to also say, come and observe. Because we want them to observe the situation and to make sure that there's no place that is left behind. We know that in the rural areas, they are going to try and frog march people. We must have peace monitors who are protecting peace in communities. Young people, this is your chance to provide peace for our parents. They must not be shambled or commandeered or frog marched into voting for an unpopular party like Zanu PF. Zanu PF counts on a coerced vote. They don't have the vote in this country. People have a clear choice. They want change. They support the citizens' movement, and we want that to be protected. Pillar number 4 is a citizen government. And of course, a citizen government speaks to your bread and butter issues, your food, your medicine, how we are going to address all the existential questions you have. How are we going to address the issue of hunger? Mr. Mugabe used to joke with me to say there are 3 Fs in any society. And if you want to be toppled from power, you must neglect one of the Fs. I said, what are they, old man? He said, food, fuel, and forex. So we want to make sure that in a new government, we are able to deal with the 3 Fs. But we have to show a new government blueprint. And we've already finished our new Zimbabwe blueprint, which is going to be an articulation of the agenda that we have to see. We have 5 pillars in that new Zimbabwe blueprint: restoration, reconstruction, transformation, modernization, and reconciliation. That's our humble suggestion to you, Zimbabweans. Support this plan, support this vision. This is what is going to make Zimbabwe a blessed land and a great land. I know that we are going to be victorious. Support the new Zimbabwe blueprint. Infrastructure is going to be our key deliverable. Seeking infrastructure. Everything else is kicking in. And we want to make sure that once we have done that, things are going to be okay. That is on the new Zimbabwe blueprint, and it's going to be launched very soon, and you will see it. Some would say, but how soon? Strategically, when you are in a war, you don't announce the launching of a missile. Otherwise, you are arming your opponent. So don't ask us to arm our colleagues in Zanu PF. They understand guerrilla tactics, so we are their customer. And we want them to understand that we will defeat them in their own backyard, in all their strategies, and of course, to be able to move very powerfully. Last but not least, which is the last building block, is the issue of making sure that we globalize our agenda. Within SADC, they must understand that Zimbabwe is on the cusp of change. The AU, the United Nations. More importantly, those who are in the diaspora, we are mobilizing them. We want those in the diaspora to support and anchor this, and we want to thank them. They've done a good job. Look at the diaspora remittances, 1.7 billion. That's huge, up from almost 1 billion. They are doing a fantastic job. Thank you, our citizens in the diaspora. It's a pity that this government is trying to deny you the right to vote. But once we become a government, there's going to be a diaspora vote. Once we become a government, we are also going to make sure that voter registration is automatic and digital. There's no need for people to be forced to come and queue. It must be done digitally. But because we have a government that is archaic and analog, let us also be on that platform of analog. Let's be in the queues to register to vote and vote in our millions. That is the agenda we have, the 5 pillars that we are submitting. The details may not be given unto you, but I'm sure you have seen the broad parameters of what we are going to be running with this year. Now you know that there's a police that has been launched. I'm now appealing to Zimbabweans. Make sure that you are on the voters' roll. Register to vote. Don't say it doesn't count. It counts. That's why they are asking you. That's why they would want to beat you. Because they know that the vote counts. They know that the vote is so powerful. The new bullet is the ballot. The new gun is yourself. A citizen who is registered to vote. An unregistered citizen is a useless weapon. A registered citizen is an effective tool for nation building. Register as a citizen. Register to vote. Make a difference. Be counted. Don't say, no, this one, we are just wasting time. If you are able to waste time by spending 5 hours in a queue for a Zupco bus, please spare us. Just spend a day. Don't tell us that you don't have time because you have time. You are waiting for a job and the jobs are not there. Please fix the problem and secure your job in one day. Secure your job in one day. Secure your health in one day. Secure your happiness in one day. Secure your freedom in one day. I urge you, make this security of your happiness and your difference in one day. Register as a voter. You have to be in a queue to end all other queues. You have to be in this line so that we end all other lines. If we are not going to join this line, lines are going to continue. The problems of 43 years cannot be resolved by a party that has caused the problems in 43 years. You need a new leader, a young leader, and I'm ready. Thank you for supporting fellow citizens. Thank you for working with us. Let us register to vote. This is our opportunity. This is our window. This is our moment. Let's make a difference. And as I always say, citizens of Zimbabwe, the time is come. This is the year of victory, the year of restoration. And I say, God is in it. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe. Let us go and mobilize for change in this country. I want to thank you. Thank you so much.